Good evening. Hello. I'm Paul Gatter, the founder of PowWows.com. Thanks for being here. Was that not an awesome dance? That was Peyton White Buffalo's Young Man Special a few years ago at Gathering Nations. That kid can dance. Hope you enjoyed that clip. We do have more of it over on YouTube. Check that out. Tonight, I want to talk to you about travel. I get asked all the time because we travel a lot, and I've got my Disney gear on tonight because that's where we love to go often. Is how have we afforded to do so many trips over the years? So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. And I'll tell you how, like, my daughter is 17 years old and she keeps count of this. We have taken her to Disney World 40 times. And I'll tell you how we've afforded that over those 17 years and give you some tips and help you travel, not just to Disney World, but get to those summer powwows and maybe a cruise or other places that you've been dreaming of. I'll help you get some money together to really get your family out there and experience those great trips that you've always wanted to take. But first, I do have a couple of announcements. One, right now, this is pre-recorded, not live. We do this live show every Thursday night at 9. Unfortunately, I'm not live tonight. This is pre-recorded because I am traveling. My daughter just graduated from high school. Oh, I'm recording this ahead of time and she hasn't graduated yet, but when this comes out, she will have graduated. Whew. And we have been saving, and I'll talk more about that in a few minutes, but we've been saving for a long time to take her on a graduation trip. So we are actually in Europe right now, enjoying traveling all around Europe, and we'll be gone for a few weeks. So I pre-recorded some videos ahead of time for you. So that's the first thing. Two, I do want to say a special thank you to our patrons, the folks over at PowWows.com. They are the booster club of PowWows.com. Their contributions really do help move PowWows.com forward. And we're using those contributions to do things like hire more writers. We've got some really incredible talent that's producing some awesome articles. We're streaming more, or we're trying to stream more powwows in 2022 than we did back in 2019 when powwows were still going. We're really trying to get out there and bring you live video from more places. So those are helping us get some of those teams out there and do that kind of stuff. So thank you for those monthly contributions. It really does mean a lot. And we're doing some really cool things with our Patreons. Certain levels of Patreon are getting an exclusive gift every month. This is our new, not available for sale, Powwow Life magnets. So that's one of the gifts that some Patreons get. You also get discounts to all of our merch. 20% discounts every month to our stickers and t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. We're also holding monthly Zoom calls where we all just hop on a chat, and sometimes we get a lot of people, sometimes we just have a few, and it's a great chance for everybody to get to know each other and me really get to know you all. So if you're interested in doing something like that, I'd love to see you join our Patreon. And coming up, after I get finished traveling, we're going to start doing watch parties too. So we'll get together and watch shows like Reservation Dogs or what's the name of the show? Rutherford Falls, or the new show that's coming out on AMC. We'll watch those together, have a chat, and really enjoy that as a group. So if you're interested in some of that and really want to help support PowWows.com, I'd love for you to jump on over. PowWowNation.com is where you can find out more about that. And of course, we always appreciate that support. So go check that out. PowWowNation.com is our Patreon. If you're not familiar with Patreon, it is a way for people to support websites and creators like PowWows.com by joining kind of a membership or a fan club of it. So go check that out. I really appreciate your support. Also, please make sure that you are visiting the calendar often. And we've got new powwows coming all the time. If you're new to powwows and you're not familiar and you want to go to your first one, or hey, maybe it's been a couple of years because of COVID and all that, and you haven't been to one in a while, we can help you there too. Go check out PowWows.com's. Hold on, wrong slide. This one, PowWows.com/powwows near me. That'll get you to our calendar and show you. There's powwows all over North America, and they're back, and we're listing them as fast as we can get them. Not everybody sent their information in for 2022, so keep checking the calendar often. There's more events coming. We'll keep updating that, but check often because it is changing rapidly. But yeah, if you're new to powwows, go check out this link, PowWows.com/powwow101. We'll help you. We'll send you. This is a free email series that I have put together that talks to you about what the dance styles are, what they mean, the songs, the etiquette around powwows, and all of that kind of stuff in a few emails that'll come to you and really help you get started or refreshed if you're coming back to powwows after having been away for a while. And also another way to support PowWows.com, of course, is to shop our merch. Please go check that out at PowWows.com/shop. Really appreciate you checking out some of the cool merch we have. And of course, our Patreons get a 20% discount every month for any merchandise they want to purchase. All right, so let's talk about ways that I have personally and my family has done to save money. All right, so like I said, over these 17 years that my daughter has been with us, we took her to Disney World for the first time in 2008. So, and since then we've gone 40 times, as well as gone on several cruises, and also we've taken her to New York State, to California, to Albuquerque, to Canada, local places, Myrtle Beach and Charleston, and all over the mountains. We've done all kinds of trips, and I get asked a lot, how do we get to travel so often? So I want to tell you a few things that we've done over the years that helped us save money, because travel can be expensive. So there's a few things I hope this will help you, and I'd love to see in the comments posting some of the ways that you save for travel, or some of the things your family does to help travel. So my first tip, I've got two really important things that you need to start with. One is, especially for bigger trips, whether it's a cruise or going to a Sandals, an all-inclusive or something like that, or going to Disney World, some of these bigger trips that you know is going to be expensive, try to plan those out as far in advance as you can. One, that helps you save money, but two, prices are going to be less the further out you book them. The closer you get to some of these travel, they'll go up in price. Supply and demand. So as they start to sell out, they will raise prices at some of these places. So plan ahead as much as you can. It really does help. Two, especially for cruises, for all-inclusive, Sandals, those kind of things, beaches, for Disney World or theme parks, any of that kind of stuff, go find you a travel agent. That is super important, and they can help you get the most bang for your buck. They'll help you find savings. They'll help you plan it, because some of these things are really overwhelming. The choices and the options. We're trying to book our first Royal. Well, we booked it, but now we're trying to understand and go on our first Royal Caribbean cruise this fall. And we've never been on Royal Caribbean, and it is overwhelming, all the choices they have with the drink packages and the meal packages and all this other stuff. It's crazy. So it really does help when you have somebody who's been on that before and can help you. So go find a travel agent. If you're interested, my wife is a travel planner. You don't have to get her, but go find somebody. Travel agents are 99% of the time, they are free. My wife's services are free to you. The travel companies pay her. So you can go check her out, PowWows.com/travel planner. But go find you a travel agent. That is one of the best tips. And before she was a travel planner, we used one ourselves. And for a long time, and Linda Norton, she was our travel planner and helped us for a long time plan trips. All right, so those are my first two tips to really get started. Our first, I guess the next thing, not the first, but the next thing really that helps us in doing travel and saving money for travel is that from an early point in our marriage, and really even before we had Brooke, we changed our mindset, and we set it as a priority that we wanted to have experiences. We wanted to travel. That was the kind of thing that was important to us as a family. And so we changed that mindset, and we really did enact that in everything we did. So over the years, we drove cheaper cars. We didn't, like I drove for a long time, probably 10 or 12 years, I drove a Honda Civic. I had a few of them over the years. I changed them out every time there was a new deal. We had a friend that worked at the Honda dealership, so when there was a deal, I'd go get another Honda Civic. So it's a great car. I loved it, but it was it was a cheaper car, and so we were able to save some money that way. That was one of the mindset things we did. Over the years, I've taken on tons of side jobs. So I did family portraits and photography. I sold photos online, produced iPhone apps in the early days of iPhones. I did a ton of eBay selling, those kind of things. We worked hard and tried to find other ways that we could make money in addition to our jobs, especially early in our marriage when we were just starting out in our careers and didn't make as much. So that was another thing. We just made it a mindset for that. We also didn't, a lot of our friends would go out on weekends and, they spend all weekend out at bars or restaurants or whatever, and really, have these big weekends. Or like a lot of our friends, we live in a college town, so a lot of our friends were avid football fans, and so they'd buy the package. We did that for a few years, and then we stopped. We stopped doing season tickets, even though we both graduated from the University of South Carolina. We love sports. We stopped doing that because we wanted to travel more, and we found that we were missing football games because we were traveling. So we got rid of that bill, and we didn't go out and do the weekends and stuff like that. We saved our money for those experiences and those travels. Over the years, another kind of mindset thing we did is that my wife and I really don't give each other big gifts for birthdays, for Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, those kind of things. We'll buy presents, but usually it's smaller things, things we might need, or sometimes it's just a gift card to take on our next trip. We save the money that we would have given for gifts to either put it toward travel or just to make sure that Brooke gets a nice Christmas or a nice birthday, something like that. But for ourselves, we kind of minimize that and use that again as another way to save money. We also, over the years, we went on shorter trips. We loved weekend trips. If there was especially in elementary school, they were out all the time for Martin Luther King Day or President's Day, Labor Day, all of these little extra weekends that you get one extra day. We would hit the road and we'd be gone somewhere. So we used smaller trips and shorter trips to still be able to go out and travel and have experiences, but it was a little cheaper and easier to do. There were some times where we combined business trips with family trips. So we went, I don't remember what year this was, but PowWows.com took us up to a powwow up in New York State. Well, while we were up there, we went a couple other places in addition to doing the work that we were doing for the powwow. We went and had some experiences. We went to Niagara Falls for a day, those kind of things. So, and there were times when my company, my day job would send me on trips or whatever, and Kelly too, and we would try to use that as a way to get in a couple of extra attractions for the family as well. So that was really our mindset. Now, some more direct ways that we save money. I got a couple of tips for you there. So I said I'm actually out of town right now. I'm in Europe traveling for my daughter's graduation. I started an investment account in 1997. I started putting just like $20 a month in it and started really small. And it took a long time for that to build, but we used a lot of money out of that account to pay for this Europe trip. That was how we saved for that. We started that. Brooke was born in 2004, so I started that almost 8 years before she was born. But we knew we wanted to save towards something big, and that's what we used it for. Fortunately, it was over the years it grew big enough that we didn't have to close the entire thing to pay for our Europe trip. But it's about half of it we put toward our Europe trip. So investment is a great way to do it. Of course, there's risk, and this isn't investment advice. I'm not an investment advisor or anything like that, but that is something you can consider, and making small little investments like that over time does add up. Now, another one that we use all the time and still use it is we have several different savings accounts. So a couple of strategies that we would do over the years. Our first cruise, we did this because we'd never taken a cruise, and we knew it was going to be a little bit more money than we were used to spending on trips. So we planned that, again, going back to my early tip, we planned that about 18 months ahead. And I don't remember the total cost, but I think it was maybe $2,500 for a 7-night cruise. So 18 months ahead of time, we knew the bill was going to be $2,500. And then we figured in like what our tips would be, gratuities, any extra things we might know on the ship that we were going to pay for, like shore excursions, those kind of things. We figured all that in and then divided it by 18 months, which was how long we had to pay for it. And I went in and every month made deposits into that account for 18 months until we got up to the total amount, and then we would pay it off. I have other savings accounts that I just have automatic transfers set up in my bank account. They just go into several different accounts, and that way I don't even notice it. And if you do it on paydays, You don't see that money; it's gone. It's just put into those other accounts, and that really does make a difference. Uh, I've still got, I think there's like 3 of them right now that I've got that take money in and put it into those savings account as soon as we get paid, and that adds up fast. It's a really great way to do it. We've done this a few times, is do the weekly challenge. You may have seen this. It comes up like every January or so. People post it on social media or other places, and that is to every week take $1 and put it into a savings account. Next week, you add $1 to it. So the second week is $2. The third week is $3. Fourth week, it's $4. And you would think that that's not a lot of money. But over the course of a year, that adds up to $1,387. That's a lot of money. That'll pay for a pretty nice trip. That'll go a long ways. And it's just a year. And in the beginning, you're not going to notice it at all. Now, toward the end, when you're having to do $40 a week, okay, you're going to feel that a little more than you did when you were doing $4 a week. But it adds up. There was one year, and I don't remember what trip we used it for, but there was one year that I said, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're both going to contribute $1. So we're going to do $2 a week. And then next week we'll do, we doubled it to $4 and then added $2. So it was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And it got up to that. And so at the end of it, we had $2,600. That was great. Now, again, toward the end, it got a little harder to do, but you have that money in the bank in case something does happen. It's sitting right there and you can go grab it. That was those kind of things are really, really good to make sure you get that money over to the side and you can use it for travel. Whether it's to a powwow, to something else you want to do, any kind of travel, it's really great to have that money sitting there so that when you do plan that trip and you have those bucket list trips you want to do, there's the money and you can just grab it and go. Another one that we've done a lot is try to find discount clubs or memberships or things like that we can do. So we made sure that we had some credit cards that had rewards on it. Like, so we have a Disney Visa card, and that gave us Disney dollars to be able to spend when we went to Disney World. We have an American Airlines credit card that, when we do things on that, we get miles. Now, credit cards are tough, and a lot of people get credit card debt, and we've, of course, struggled with that over the years too. So be careful of doing those, but if you're disciplined and can do that, there's great rewards in some of those kind of cards. We also tried to find ways that we could maybe buy annual passes to something or buy a longer pass to an attraction or something so that we could save money and use it over and over again. We've done annual passes to Disney World before. And again, going back to those 3-day weekends, Labor Day and Memorial Day, those kind of things, when we had annual passes, it was easy for us to take a weekend trip down to Disney World because we didn't have to pay for tickets again. All we had to do was find a room, and it's Orlando. You can find a cheap hotel room somewhere, and boom, we were in Disney World again. We did that one year, and I think we went like 8 times. And we were paying really inexpensive rates for hotel rooms, and we were just able to go down for a weekend and have a little fun like that. So that was a good way to do it. And we, of course, make sure you join airline frequent flyer plans, join all the hotel reward programs, rental car rewards. Make sure you join all of their membership rewards so that when you do use their services, you're going to get something back for it. That's really important. All right. The last one is that over the year, I've talked about our big trips. We've been on cruises and flown out to California, Hawaii. We've had some really amazing trips. Some of our favorite memories, though, too, are when we've explored a local area. For a few years, and unfortunately we're going to miss it this year because we're going to be in Europe, but for a few years we've really enjoyed doing this tour. It's a tour, they call it a tour, but it's called the Ag and Art Tour here in South Carolina. And so on weekends in June, different counties in our state have farms that open up, and they'll bring in artisans and craftspeople, but they'll also open up their farm and give demonstrations and sometimes tasting of the products they're making. And we have really enjoyed that, and being able to go out in our state to counties that we sometimes have never been to and go and see little, attractions and businesses that we've never been. Last year, it was really cool because a farm here right in Lexington where we live opened up, and we've been by there, dozens of times. It's right by my daughter's high school. So we up and down that road all the time, and we were able to visit that farm and see how they operate never would have been able to do that otherwise. So they're really cool local attractions that you can do. I really recommend that. So, and we've even spent like um, during the heavy part of quarantine, we were missing being able to travel. So we took one weekend and we just drove. We made a list of historical markers that were close to us, and we drove around all day and found all these local spots that were historical places and just went and explored those. Super fun. It was, just a day we spent in the car together. Um, we've also enjoyed going out to local festivals. I don't know about where you live, but here in the South, there's a festival in every small town. We've got the Chitlin Festival. We've got the Okra Strut. My hometown, Sumter, has the Iris Festival. There's a Peanut Festival. I think we have a Crawdad Festival. Excuse me. We've got all kinds of festivals here in South Carolina. And those are super fun to be able to travel around, visit different cities and local areas that you've never been to. And then they have everything already there for you. You can go and visit it. Whether it's food and local artisans and businesses set up, and then they bring in all the kind of stuff that goes on in that area and all the local attractions. Super fun to be able to go to some of those local festivals. So remember that your trips don't have to be an 8-hour drive away. Visit your local town, local state. There's places right near you that you can go and have a great time as a family, and it's really close. You might not even have to stay in a hotel. You might be able to do a day trip and just go and enjoy it. So look for that too. So those are some of the ways that we have saved for travel and really had our mindset that our priority was to have experiences as a family, to be able to spend time together traveling, and really getting out there. And those were the memories we wanted to make. And so from the beginning, when Brooke was born, that was a commitment that we made, and really it's been amazing for us. I've got a joke that Brooke is the most photographed kid in America. One, because as a photographer, I take a lot of pictures, but we've also traveled so much. So I literally have tens of thousands of pictures of us and her in all these different places. And it's been wonderful. It's really been a great way for us to stay bonded and connected and have some memories. And now that she's graduated, we will look back on these times, and that is time that you can't get back. The one thing we don't have enough of and we can never get more of is time. So use travel as a way to spend time and connect with your family. It's been awesome for us. I'm really excited that we're going to get to spend all this time together in Europe traveling. We've been looking forward to it for so long, and as she now transitions and moves away to college, we're really going to cherish this time. And I'll tell you more about it when I get back. But I hope this helped, and I hope you will take some of our advice and get out there with your family and travel. Gas is expensive right now, and things are still a little crazy in places, but you can do a few of these strategies, and hopefully it'll help you get out there on the road. So thanks for being here. Again, my name is Paul Gowder. I'm the founder of PowWows.com. Usually live, every Thursday night at 9, except when we're traveling. So thanks so much for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Remember those tips. Don't forget to, if you need help, Kelly, my wife, is a travel planner, and she can help you with those needs. So reach out to her. Thanks again to our Patreons for supporting us. We really appreciate all of their support. And thank you for watching. We'll be back in July. So look forward to seeing you there. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon.